Yeah, the riot helmet just about seems to fit with this mask though. So let's put it down. Yeah, it's not going to go any further down unfortunately, so it doesn't really fit. Afternoon. Right, the good news is, I take it the notification must have been sent out then, because if I've got a load of comments already. It's easy enough to see with this on. The problem is the riot helmet visor, now I've tested it with the filter, doesn't really go down properly, because then the riot helmet visor starts to block the filter. So, no, not really, unfortunately. The riot helmet visor is also pretty scratched where I've used it in tests before, you know, so it's been hit with weapons and it's been shot with air rifles and things like that. Yep, don't forget to like the stream, everybody. I'll get that panel open actually so I can keep checking on the things and everything. Hopefully you'll get a good amount of people on today, because normally on a Saturday I'm at work, so it's quite nice that I've got this Saturday off, booked as holiday. I can actually do a stream, so hopefully we'll get quite a few viewers on and it will be a good stream. I would have done it later in the day, but I'm out this evening, so... I like to check CM4, yeah, it's like a better version of the Draeger M65, so it has some of the same flaws as the M65, but overall it's a fairly nice mask, yeah. Tell him not to breathe through the Soviet filter again, because of the fact it's got asbestos in and it's an old filter. Hopefully he'll listen to you. I'm sure for the brief amount of time he was breathing through it, he's not done any damage to himself, but obviously don't do it anymore. This isn't actually a chemical warfare filter though, this is just a particulate filter on it at the moment. But yeah, it's good enough just for wearing a mask during a stream. Yeah, it's the Finnish or the Scott, depending on which variant you have of it, M97. So the M95 is a very similar mask but with two eyepieces. This is like the panoramic lens version of it. Which one's the DP one? I'll have to look it up. Can't remember which mask it is. If that's the one I'm thinking of, that's actually a scrubber kind of filter, isn't it? Rather than, Alright, Mike. Right. I'm sure he'll be fine though, just tell him not to wear it again. So yeah, if you're just joining the stream, don't forget to give it a like, because it seems the more people that like the stream, the more it gets shared with people who are subscribed to me. Because as you probably know, unfortunately with YouTube, just simply being subscribed to somebody and often clicking the bell doesn't send out the notifications often enough. So, you know, that's one of those a bit annoying things, really. Tell you what, I'm going to move the webcam slightly more this way, so the disclaimer is not cutting my head off. And then actually what I'm going to do is probably put the disclaimer on the opposite side of the screen. Just thinking where would be a good place for it. Let's put it there for now. Stretch it slightly bigger. I might try and do a vertical disclaimer that goes on the bookshelf for one of my future streams. That way I can have it, you know, stretched more vertically, but it won't be blocking anything important. It will just be blocking a load of book spines you can't read. No, the GP5 doesn't come with a NATO adapter, obviously, and there's not any official ones. There's a 3D printed one, but obviously you'd need a 3D printer to make it. So you could weld normalised Chinese hose with it, and that would work. And then put a NATO filter at the bottom, or you can use rubber O-rings to force it to take NATO filters. As in the Belgian 4GP. I quite like the 4GP, it's an interesting mask. It's a shame they never produced more of them. Right, so they're the two masks you have. Can you get an FM12 or a Fushida F2? Because they're two very good masks. Yeah, the Scott Pro mask, or whatever it is the civilian name for it. As this is a military variant, see, because it's got the drinking tube adapter on it, it's technically a Scott M97, or a Finnish M97, depending on which variant of it you've got. Yeah, is Rayleigh 4A1 or M15 are good masks? Yeah, go for that then. Yeah, I've got a Belgian 4GP. I've got the version without the drinking tube, M4GP, but it's the one where you can twist the thing, can't you? So you can have the filter left, right, or bottom. It would be extremely painful, Rox, but yeah, I can remove the mask. But nobody cared who I was until I put on the mask. Oh, I've taken that strap off by the look of it. I'll have to thread that back through. There we go. Right, let's fix this strap. I'm assuming it's just one of these simple ones where it goes through one way and then back the other, is it? Let's have a look at some of the others. Yeah, so it goes down on that bit and through that bit. Yeah, that's the strap repaired, no fuss. There we go, that was easy enough to do. Ah, good. The problem is, what you want for doing the roof, don't you, Mike, is you want a dry day that's not hot, because doing roofing on a hot day is absolutely horrible. Because when we had that 45-degree summer, not 45-degree, like 40-degree on the hottest days, you know, 35 on a lot of the days, summer last year, that was when we had to do a lot of the roofing in our house. And, you know, going up on a roof when it's nearly 40 degrees centigrade is absolutely horrible. We had to keep coming down every 10 minutes, you know, for a break in the house, just so we weren't going to collapse on the roof or anything. If I'll say the same thing, Ludheim, I say about all the masks. If I spot one for a good price, I will buy it and do videos on it. When they're too expensive, I can't. And that's the logic I apply to pretty much every mask or piece of military equipment. I've done videos. If you watch the, I have no idea how I'm going to pronounce your name because it's a load of letters and numbers. But I've done videos on, I'll just call you Jin. Jin, I've done videos on good budget masks. Again, it's going to depend what country you're in and factors like that, because a lot of them vary from country to country, how much things cost. I always go for Israeli mask over a GP5. Oh. See, I can't really advise you on the USA because I'm in the UK, so the price of some masks over there would probably be very different. But if you watch my video about good budget gas masks, you might get some ideas from that. Because the thing is, obviously, a lot of European masks might be more expensive in the US because they're having to ship them further. I just use eBay Ghostly Crate. Or Crate. I literally just go on eBay, type in gas mask or a name of the mask you're interested in, and then look for the ones at the best price. CM4 is a much better mask than the GP5 in terms of like comfort, and it's got a voice diaphragm and all that. The only thing is, because it's an M65 style mask, you know, like the M65 back there, some face types it won't fit very well, and you have to do the straps up uncomfortably tight to actually get it to fit you. Right, Mike, I'm going to try and remember myself, but I'll ask you because I trust you, or like Richard or Peach if they're on. At 4 o'clock, so in about an hour's time, can you remind me I need to take 2 paracetamol, because then it will have been 4 hours since the last time I took 2 paracetamol. So at that time I can take my next 2 tablets, but I'll forget otherwise. But I know it's 4 PM. Yeah, cool, thank you. Hopefully I'll remember because I'm doing a stream, but because I've got my coffee, it'll be just a very simple job of shaking 2 out the tub. But that's the annoying thing is, where I've now got these on prescription, it's brilliant that I get paracetamol in a tub, you know, and all that, so I don't have to keep buying them. But the annoying thing is that they're all loose in a plastic thing, so actually for taking them in my pocket anywhere, it would be more convenient for me to just keep buying them. But I suppose I can always have these when I'm at home and then buy, you know, the paracetamol packets when I'm outside. I mean, this would fit in a zip-up pocket, to be fair, on a lot of coats. It's just in this kind of weather I don't want to be wearing a coat.
Cool. Yep, that would be very stalker looking SKS with a GP5, despite the fact neither the GP5 or the SKS is in stalker, but it is in lots of the mods for stalker. So what's everybody up to today? Yeah, well, for me, Richard, I'm not at work. I've not been at work since last weekend because I had holiday days to use up. So last Saturday I was off, I was in last Sunday, and then this weekend I'm off work, but they'd be closed Sunday anyway because they're not allowed to open Easter Sunday being a big garden centre. So I'd have been off anyway, but because I've got it booked as holiday, it means I get paid for the day off rather than just not being at work. So I'm going to go out with some friends tomorrow for a car trip. And then, yeah, I'm back in next weekend, but it's really nice for me because it means, obviously, that I've had 5 days off, in the sense I'm still making YouTube videos and doing all that sort of stuff. I get this weekend off because, you know, it's booked off as holiday from work, and then I'm, you know, off again for 5 days before I'm back to normal with my work schedule. If you don't want to buy masks from eBay, I really don't know where to recommend, because other than physical surplus stores, or maybe Amazon if there's some surplus on Amazon, I can't really recommend anywhere other than eBay, because I nearly always use eBay for stuff. Flea Market, Montgomery. They closed, didn't they, sadly, Flea Market Montgomery, because it's just like a mini mall. Yeah, cool. If you have a surplus store near you and the prices are sensible, of course, support your local surplus store, but sadly, the one near me closed. Tell you what, I had a really weird nightmare / dream last night. What happened was I was in, like, the local town or city, and then I had to get home, but for whatever reason they were doing something weird with the bus route. So then I got on the bus, but then the bus wasn't able to drop me off at my local bus stop. And then the surplus store that was closed was randomly at the bus stop they dropped me off at, but the surplus store was back open. And I went in the surplus store and I couldn't buy anything. For whatever reason, they didn't have anything I wanted. And then I was walking home, and then, like, I randomly got lost in these deserted factories out of nowhere. It was a very strange nightmare / dream. I have no clue what it was about, but that's the point. I'll put my phone in aeroplane mode now, so I don't get any notifications while I'm streaming. There we go. I wouldn't say it was a good dream, but yeah, it was very strange. Another weird bit was when I was on the double-decker bus, they had the top section of the bus converted into a doctor's office, and you had a random doctor's appointment while you're on the bus waiting to get to your stop. And then I had, like, this doctor asking me very weird psychological questions. You know that bit in the Kill List, Mike, where he goes to the doctor and it's not his normal doctor and he starts giving him cryptic advice rather than the thing about the infected bit of his hand? It was like that. And I have a feeling there was some very weird Freudian stuff going on in the dream where they said you must have, like, problems with your dad or your mum or something, even though I was talking to the doctor about, like, a headache or something. It was a very strange dream. The weird thing is, I reckon now I have a dream or nightmare nearly every night. I don't reckon there's a night where I go to bed and I don't actually have some sort of dream. I don't know if it's because of any of the medication I'm on, but it's very strange. Some of them are quite interesting though, but others aren't. Some of them, you know, frightening, or some of them just are really bizarre. Oh, that's cool. Experimental truck parts. So, what sort of things are that? No, I don't have a gas mask bong. I'm kind of tempted to buy one of those 4A ones with a bong on it, just to disassemble it and see how much of it is a functioning gas mask. Oxford sort of area, I won't say any more than that, mate. Why would they have Snoop Dogs on stickers on brakes? Yeah, I only just put it there because I thought I could show it at the back because I could prop it up on the bed and then just put it back in the corner later on. But yeah, the guy who does the artwork for my merch, that was a picture he randomly gave me years ago. So if you're interested in merch, you would be supporting him and me because he gets half the profits from any of this that sells. So, hello, I am the Typer. So there you go. There's the shout out for the merch. There will be more designs coming, but it'll probably be like one new design every 2 weeks to a month, I imagine. The Teespring link's below. Right, let's have a look at our like ratio, shall we? Right, let me F5 the thing, where it shows me the current statistics for the video. Okay, it says I've got 77 views, 25 live views, and 27 likes, so that's good. It means currently I've got more likes than people live viewing, which is good. If you're a civilian though, I doubt you can buy individual masks from Avon because they'd only do big company supplies as far as I'm aware, unless you're buying them as surplus. Yeah, exactly. I like doing that on days as well, Mike, where there's nobody around to bother you, because I've done stuff like that on the roof before. There, one of my neighbours comes out from one of the surrounding houses, sees me on the roof and starts trying to chat to me and like, what are you doing on the roof? You got a problem with your roof? You know? And all that sort of stuff. I think, oh. I wonder if you can actually take the rubber off of this bit. What's that, just plastic under there? Yeah, it's just a little plastic thing, isn't it? Yep. So not very interesting. Ah, it's missing its peg on this one. That's interesting. So it's meant to have a little peg in the front, but it's missing it. This is my old riot helmet anyway. I've got the Mark III one that's a bit better than this one. This one isn't bad though. If you can get one, I think you can get these for about £20 on eBay, and for £20 they are definitely worth it. They offer a lot of head protection, and they're, you know, you can use them for other stuff as well as being a riot helmet. Like, I don't want to advise people to use them on motorbikes or whatever in case they don't offer the right amount of neck or head protection for a crash, but you know, there are a lot of reasons you could use one of these. You know, like I've done the practical use for the cheek filter mask video the other day. I'm sure there's a practical use for a riot helmet type video, and one of those things I imagine is if you're out in your garden and you're strimming or something like that, or cutting stuff with a chainsaw, you could have this to protect your eyes, you know, from bark and stuff flying into your face, rather than using goggles. Because I know you do get those gardening helmets which are a bit like these, but they're more like a plastic hard hat with a little thin face plastic bit on. You know, something like this would be a lot more robust. You can do whatever you want, Jin. It's not up to me to tell you to do that or not. I've got a Stahlhelm, Zergo, but I wouldn't wear that on the stream just because, you know, the connotations of it. And I was trying to see earlier if I could put the liner from my M1 helmet into the Swiss Stahlhelm to see if that would work, but the M1 liner doesn't really fit in there because they have different connectors in the helmet. Yeah, exactly, because I've seen like industrial variants of helmets like this that literally look like this exact style helmet, but you know, look a lot flimsier. So I think personally, if you were going to wear a helmet like that, you'd probably be better buying a riot helmet, and I reckon they'd offer you better protection and they'd probably be more comfortable because they're obviously designed to be worn for longer periods. What annoyed me was I had one of those weird comments ages ago where somebody was saying to me on the riot helmet video, they were saying, oh, you're doing a really dumb thing advising people to buy helmets like this for protection when strimming. Don't you know a helmet like that would offer you nowhere near as much protection as a proper one? You're going to get people killed or blinded if you tell them that. Is it free postage, or is the postage really expensive? Because sometimes you see them at a really low, like, initial price and the postage is over the top. Tell you what, while I'm waiting for comments, so don't forget to like the stream, everybody, if you haven't liked the stream yet. I'm just going to have a look on eBay and see if I can spot anybody any good deals of gas masks. There's an S10 at the moment with one bid on it, £5 postage. It doesn't end for a few days, but some of you might want to bid on that. What else is there? Oh, you know the IP5? Let me just go on to this to check it is the actual thing. Yeah, for £16 on eBay, B Store is selling IP5s with free postage. So if you wanted an IP5, you could get one for like 16 quid, which isn't bad at all. I've got my IP5 here, actually. Tell you what, I won't get the IP5 out because it's more of a bitch to reassemble the bag, but I'll show you the IP4. I think the IP4s cost a bit more, but let me show you this one. This is the IP4M, I think it is. There you go. So you've got the rebreather thing, or I'm definitely not going to pull the pin on that, but you've got the mask in there that sits in that bit of the bag. Connected to all the gear. I mean, it's not connected at the moment. Let's just put that all down there, get the helmet off. But still, €20 for an S10 isn't bad. I'd still go for that because that's still a good price, even if they're ripping you off with the postage. Oh, I think this is a pretty cool looking mask. I wonder if this would fit with a riot helmet. Probably would, actually. There we go. Yeah, I saw that. It's the paracetamol, isn't it, Mike? So it's not really hardcore drugs, but you never know. Yeah, this actually looks quite cool like this, actually. It fits really well with the thing. No, I've never used a rebreather canister, and I wouldn't, because obviously there's lots that can go wrong if you use a rebreather canister. It's weird though with a rebreather, obviously it's designed to work this way, but it is weird that you exhale and inhale down the same tube. That feels really weird when you're used to how regular masks work, but yeah, it's very strange. Which cell are you on about, Alex? Hopefully the thumbnail might change at some point, but when the stream's finished, I'll be able to set the thumbnail to something. I'll have a choice of 3. Ah, 59 likes. Ooh, that is very good today. So thanks to everybody who's liked the stream. This is going to be a really good one in terms of like ratio. I wouldn't pay that for a World War II gas mask. I have a couple of Nazi masks though. Okay, yep. Is that overloading the mic? I can look at the meters. You hear that? The FM12 is a very good mask. Right, anyway, let's get this off now. I don't want to overheat too much. There we go. But yeah, the IP4 is a pretty solidly constructed Soviet mask, because you can see through there that it's actually got an oral nasal cup in it, which most of the Soviet masks don't have. I like the Soviet titanium helmets a lot. Firstly, get a tripod, mate. That way, if you get a tripod, your videos look a lot better because the camera's stabilised. You don't have the issue of, you know, like a really shaky camera. Make sure the lighting's as good as possible. That way, you know, turn on all the lights in the room. If you can, let in sunlight if you can't really afford getting like a softbox light like I use in a lot of videos now. And then once you've done all that, you know, just talk about the stuff and talk about the stuff you're interested in and stuff like that. Ah, cool. If that was me, I'd have probably bought all that stuff, Mr. G, if I was there. The mask used in the Doctor Who episode, The Empty Child, isn't a real mask. It's kind of a combination of several masks. Let me get the picture up of it, and I'll tell you, it's pretty much a cross between a British civilian World War II gas mask, but it doesn't look exactly like that because it's got two eyepieces rather than the one, like, rectangular eyepiece. Tell you what, the closest mask I actually have to it, let me show you, is my Swedish funk gas mask. This is probably the closest mask I have to it, so let's get this one out the tin. This is probably the closest mask I have to it, but this isn't the actual mask, because I think the mask they used in the episode was a prop built specifically for the episode. But this, I think, is the closest mask you'll get to it, in terms of like the eyepiece and filter location. Tell you what, I'll have to hold my breath because this has most likely doesn't have asbestos in the filter. But let me do you something for all the people who really like that Doctor Who episode. I'll do a little special thing for you right now. And I'm going to have to clear up all this shit again that I've made a mess of with getting all this set up. So let me just have a bit more coffee. Right, let's get ready for this then. Right, so I'm going to have to take a big breath before I put the mask on. Mummy, have you seen my mummy? Are you my mummy? I know he doesn't say it like that, but there you go. This is a bit too small for me, I think, this one. But yeah, this is the closest mask. If you wanted to imitate that episode, you could probably buy this mask, and then you could take this like rubberized tape off, remove the filter, then you could maybe put a prop filter on or not have the filter if you wanted to cosplay that episode. But yeah, you can sometimes get these Swedish folk masks in the tin for like £10 to £20, which is a great price for them, but as I said, don't wear them because they're old asbestos, you know, like 1950s masks, but they're Swedish civil defence masks from the 50s. It even has like all the booklets and everything else in there, look. I'm going to put that one back so I just don't have to put every bloody thing back at the end of the video. Right, that's that one put back away. The scariest mask, in my opinion, other than the American Mickey Mouse mask, because, you know, a necrotic-looking Mickey Mouse mask for children isn't a good idea, is probably the US Navy optical masks from World War II. There's two of them. Both of them are the masks the ghost people have in Fallout, New Vegas, Dead Money. But yeah, they're like, if you type in US optical mask, let's see if I can get the pictures up of them, like a non-copyright one, and then I'll put them up in the video. This might be copyrighted, I don't know, so I'll be careful with what I do. But let's just see if I can get two pictures up. I don't want to use anybody's, you know, like personal pictures. That's why. That's made it really low resolution. Hang on. Let me just see if. Okay, yeah. Don't know if I'm going to be able to do it very well, but if you go on Google Images and type in this, or just copy and paste this in, put that in, you'll see the masks. There's two variants of it. One where the hose and things different, but they're quite creepy looking. No, I don't have an M65Z. I have the regular M65 there. And I have the M62 mask, which was the one that came before the M65Z, but that's in broken condition, like the straps are ripped off of it and stuff. But yeah, apparently the M65Z is quite a good mask, but I don't have one. Alright, don't forget to like the stream, everybody. Just shouting it out there. I had somebody moaning at me the other day, actually, saying, don't tell people to like the stream, because liking the stream doesn't help it get shared. This isn't Facebook. If they want to see your videos, they can click subscribe, can't they? Well, that doesn't actually work on YouTube anymore, unfortunately, because, you know, even if you're sub to people and click the bell, you don't get half the videos they make. Oh, that's a point. I'm going to go on Weapon Collector's channel right now and see if I can actually see if the bell's still ticked on this channel. What are you guessing, Mike? Oh, okay. That surprised me. The bell still ticked on your channel. Wasn't expecting that. I'll tell you a creepy looking mask I've got. I think I've got it in this room. Let me check if I have. If I have, I'll get out and show you, because it's one of the masks people really like the design of. If I can get it out. Yeah, I can get it out. Just give me a second. You know, it's got a bit of cobwebs on him now. I have to clean him up. But this is one of my really creepy looking masks. British World War II warden mask. It's got the red exhale valve, flapper valve from a Mickey Mouse mask on this one. Because obviously the factory was short or had a spare red one, so they put the red one on. I'll show you the inside of it. Exact same inside as a British Mark V mask, just with a different nose piece. Was that the one you had in your attic, Mike, that you found, or did you have a different one? The good thing of this mask as well is a lot of the stickers are still intact on it, or not stickers, but you know, stamps, you can still read them. Home office. This stamp's pretty faded. I think it said Sieb Gorman on this one somewhere. You could still see it was actually a Sieb Gorman manufactured one. I'm trying to remember where that was. Oh yeah, on the strap, Sieb Gorman. If it focuses. Yeah, there we go, Sieb Gorman. Sieb Gorman Limited. Makers. Does that say Neptune Works or something? Yeah, Sieb Gorman, sadly, is another British company that doesn't exist anymore. Sieb Gorman used to make lots of, as well as gas masks, they used to make diving masks and diving suits. You know, the old Victorian, like, you know, like in Bioshock, what the big daddies have. Sieb Gorman used to make those. Oh, yeah, I know what the cold weather masks look like. They look like the GIMP masks, don't they? Yeah, cool. They're worth quite a bit, Mike. Make sure you keep that in good condition. You could get 30 to 50 quid for that plus, depending on the condition. There's a Riot helmet there, yeah. I've got two Riot helmets, Blitzkrieg Carl. This is the one that's not as good as the other one, but let's just straighten my glasses back up. Yeah, there we go. Tell you what we'll do. I'll take my glasses off a second. I'll finish my coffee. I'll just make sure I shout out again when I have my coffee. Don't forget, if you want a mug like this or another bit of merch, you can buy them. Look at the Teespring link below. There we go. No, sadly, Dark Shadow, I haven't found an Italian gas mask yet, but one of my supervisors at work is Italian. He watches my YouTube stuff, I think, and I've asked him next time he's in Italy, or at least I hope I asked him, but I'll keep reminding him because he goes to Italy quite often. If he sees any surplus Italian stuff, if he buys it, I'll pay him for it when he gets back. Because, you know, like I said, I really struggle to find Italian masks on eBay. But yeah, I'll ask Marco next time I see him if he can try and find me like an Italian T35 mask or something when he's in Italy visiting his family. Yeah, if you're interested in how well a Riot helmet works, there we go. Don't want to do this and then that would be the end of my YouTube career. But yeah. I don't have any ARs in the sense live ones because I'm in the UK other than some airsoft rifles. With deactivated rifles, I've got the SLR, but that's semi-automatic. I've got an M1 carbine, but that would have been semi-automatic as well. I've got an AK, an RPK and a PPSH, so they'd have been automatic when they were in working condition, but they're not anymore. No, I've not done a parody. There is a video coming up in about a month's time where it's just announcing that I've got merch, you know, and it shows the Teespring page with a load of merch on it. No, I don't know, is a GP8 even a real mask? I've got a GP7, I've got a GP4, a GP5, a GP7, but I don't have a GP8. I've also got a GP5M, look. Don't ask questions like that, mate. I'm not going to ban you for that comment, I'm going to remove it, but don't talk about any illegal stuff, as it says down there. But you can't do it anyway, that's the point of deactivating a gun. I was just seeing why I've got the Riot helmet out, if there's anything else in here I could demonstrate it with. Yeah, I'll get the GP7 out. I've already got way too much stuff out this stream, but why not? I'll do it for you guys because I love you so much. I'm pretty sure it's in this room. If it wasn't in this room, I wouldn't get it out, but I'm pretty sure it's in this heavy sack. Yeah, there we go. Tell you what, in a minute on the stream, I'm just going to have to pop the IP4 away because otherwise I'm just getting way too much stuff out. This actually has a leak in it, so it doesn't work. But there's no point putting a filter on because it doesn't work. There's a split in the voice diaphragm. But there you go. There's the GP7 if you like Metro 2033. No, I can't take that down because it's put up in a way that I can't take it down. Yeah, because at the moment, Akamet, if I'm pronouncing your name right, it's because I've got a bit of time off work with holidays and that, so I'm just doing a lot of live streams to keep myself entertained, and it's also because I film all my videos in advance. And, you know, schedule them in advance. You know, I'm a bit ahead of schedule. Yeah, GP5s are latex hoods. Right, I'm going to pop this mask away for now. So let me just do this. Right. Let's put the hose in first. And then in theory, I should be able to just tuck it into that bit. Yeah, there we go, that's all tucked in there, and then close this bit back up. So pop these on there. Then put the poppers back down. There we go. Well, Yugoslav M1's a proper filter mask. Polish MP4 is a cheek filter mask, but in terms of build quality, the Polish MP4 is a better mask. There you go, that's all put away again. What I'm going to do is I'm not going to put the Warden mask away yet, because where I've pulled my bed away from the wall, I'm going to get a hoover down there, I reckon, and give that a good hoover out now I've pulled the bed out, because I might as well get any of the dust out of the room I can. Not as far as I'm aware, Blitzkrieg Carl. There are clear silicone masks, but I don't know about clear latex masks. Right, see you, I am the typer. Have a good day. I've got quite a lot of melee weapons. If you look on my channel, there should be a playlist that's got all my videos on melee weapons on there. But you can see in the background there's some swords and things and everything like that. Tell you what, I'll pop this mask away now. I'll also pop the GP7 away. Right, don't forget to like the stream while I'm popping the stuff away. And yeah, if you want to, what was I going to say? You can check out the merch while I'm doing this. Oh, my shirt's glitching the camera out, look. You can talk amongst yourselves, I guess, while I'm doing this. There you go. Yeah, you can buy gas masks in Finland as far as I'm aware. You can probably buy the Finnish M61 mask in Finland for like €5 or something. Or the M71 for like €5. What gas masks are seized by the police? None of my masks are seized by the police. I don't know what you're on about with that, Dark Shadow. Yeah, GP5s look cool, but remember they have asbestos filters, so don't breathe through them. If you like GP5s though, I've got GP5 merch down below. If you check out my Teespring, you can get like mugs and shirts and things with a drawing of a GP5 on it. What I'll do actually quickly is I'll show you the drawing on the screen, because I can get that up and put it on the thing. So yeah, the GP5 one looks like this. Ooh, that's gone really big, hasn't it? Hang on. Let's see if I can shrink that down to size. Is it possible to shrink it down to size? Ooh. There you go. That's the, if I pop it in that corner, I'll delete it in a minute, but that's the GP5 merch pitch that's on picture. The thing. So I'll delete that off now, but yeah, if you're interested in some of the merch, that's the GP5 one that's on all the shirts and cups that Bart did for me. When you say Austria, do you mean Austria or Australia? But I don't actually know. Yeah, I reckon it's like if a pattern thing, I reckon you're right, Mike, with like a small kind of pattern on it like that gets too close to the camera, I reckon that's what causes it to glitch. I don't actually know about Austria, you'd have to Google the laws. There's no radioactive places near me, but my mask should work fine, but again, I just try them against air freshener and dust type stuff. I wouldn't irradiate myself on purpose to test the mask. All the guns are real but deactivated. It's a bit late, Steve, but I'm going to be on for another hour at least. To tell you what, in about 10 minutes, I might go to the toilet very quickly. So you can just chat amongst yourselves while I do that, but I'll be straight back on after I've been to the toilet. The toilet's very close to my room. In 15 minutes I can take my paracetamol as well, can't I? So I'll do that at the same time. What mask did you find then? Yeah, there's also the another one with a name similar to that, isn't there? Which is an SHMS with a similar thing. But yeah, they're the ones for the rocket crews that had to have masks that offered even better levels of protection. Yeah, £12 good for it. I wonder if my Mark... No, it's Mark 3 I've got. Yeah, that's good for Mark 4. Which one did you get in? Desert or Woodland DPM? I won't get all of it out, but as you can see, I've got two. That's a bit dirty, but yeah. There's my Mark 3 suits. Gonna have to definitely hoover up now because there's dust coming off of it, but yeah. There's Mark 3 suits where I've still got one vacuum packed. Yeah, I'm gonna have a good hoover up once I've done this stream. Get my room even cleaner. No, I definitely wouldn't survive an apocalypse, mate, because I'm chronically ill. So even if I wasn't shot or something by somebody, as soon as my medication runs out, my health would start declining pretty quickly. Newest addition to my gas mask collection. Put me on the spot now, I don't actually know. I really can't tell you, actually. It's a good question. My newest addition to any of my collection type stuff was this, which this came today. Yeah, €3 for an NBC suit is a very good deal. I suppose technically, yeah, my children's PDF masks are the newest ones, but they're duplicates of ones I've already got. So yeah, if you want to see something very stylish, I've done a video on this today. I've not got, I'm not going to attach it all to my belt at the moment, but there you go. This would attach to your belt, and this is the pelvis and groin protector. Won't smack it too hard because it's Kevlar that's designed to stop, you know, shrapnel, not stop your balls getting busted. But there we go. Yeah, and this bit would pull up just like that. Yeah, well, very important thing, isn't that, Ryan? But yeah, I actually thought to start with this would clip onto the Mark IV vest, but it doesn't. It actually clips onto your belt. These are like belt loops. So you have belt loops at the front and back. You obviously have a belt around your waist, which you'd have like pouches on and things, and it connects to that. Yeah, that is the thumbnail for the video, Mike. It's a cropped image of me having it on my... I'm wearing clothes, obviously, with it, but yeah. I thought, as much as I could show a thumbnail of me holding it up, I thought it looks funnier having a crop of me with, you know, like camo kind of groin stuff on, like camo underwear. That looks better than... Don't know if I can do a good race car noise. Yeah, but that reminds me of the bit in Band of Brothers where the guy gets ripped open by shrapnel. He's like bleeding out on the floor, and when the medic or whoever it is runs up to him, he actually goes up to him and he goes, "Don't worry, all your bits are still in place." You know, and the guy looks relieved because although he's got some of his guts blown out, you know, his cock and balls are still intact, so that's good news. I think that guy recovers from that, doesn't he? Yeah, I think I saw some of those, Steve, when I was looking at my Osprey vest, but I didn't bother getting any of those because I've got like the police issue vest there, which I could put a 3A panel in if I wanted to. But yeah, because I've got the big Osprey vest where I can put whatever armour in that I want plus the panels, there's no point in me getting a flak vest, but I've got like the old generation flak vests as well, but I mean if I had enough space and enough money I'd get that as well, but you know. Very low in radiation, a banana. You'd have to eat loads and loads and loads of them before it even had an effect on you, I think. You're asking very weird questions, Ashigaru, aren't you? Flex your muscles and make race car noises. Don't quite know what you're up to at the moment. It's very odd. Don't think I'm going to take part in the weird things you want me to do. Is that how you get off? Flex your muscles and make race car noises. Turns me on. Akmet, that would be my XM28E4 gas mask, I imagine. The Grasshopper. Because they're very rare outside of the US, and I managed to find somebody selling one, so I bid quite a lot on it. Went to close to £100. That sounds very cool, Steve. To be honest, like I said, if I have the spare money and the spare space, and I see one at a good price, I might get one at one point, but yeah, you know, it wouldn't be a bad thing. Yeah, he's going to say, can I wear a GP5 with some sort of, yeah, bodysuit or whatever? We're only joking with you, Ashigaru, but I'm not going to do some of your weird requests. I like collecting all sorts of militaria Dark Shadow. The main reason is just because gas masks end up being cheaper than a lot of other militaria, so, you know, I can collect gas masks for less money, in a sense. For the price of one of those Lee Enfields, I could maybe get, like, 10 gas masks. You know, that's the difference in price. Maybe it depends which country are you in, because you get different results on different Amazons. No thank you, Ghostly Crete, I'm alright. Well, I'm not in America, I'm in the UK, but I'm sure if you type either respirator or gas mask into Amazon, you'll get Israeli ones and GP5s coming up. I don't actually know what the oldest Russian mask is off the top of my head. It might be a GP4. But I suppose I can't really get it down, but I'll tell you what I'll do quickly. Right. There you go. That's probably my oldest Russian mask. GP4. that the date stamp on that side? I'm not sure actually. Might just be a serial number. I think that says 63, so that's probably a 1963 one. So probably not all that old. I might have even a GP5 older than that, in all honesty. It puts the lotion on its skin or it gets the hose again, Richard. No, all my stuff is totally legal and fine to own, and I don't do anything stupid with it, Mr. G. So the police have no reason to, you know, cause me any bother. Zardos! I could do that, couldn't I? The gun is good, the penis is evil. Could have the Lee Enfield and, I've just got, I think it's like a 4x scope or something on that crossbow. Is it got a name, Gaming Legend? Because then I can look it up, but I don't know what I'd type in to find that. I'm just an exterminator. That's a really bad Sean Connery impression, isn't it? Right, I'm going to pop to the toilet now, so I will be back as quickly as I can. So talk amongst yourselves to amuse yourselves. I don't know if this will go where my head is. It's probably going to go too low, isn't it, on the chair? I was wondering if I could put a stand in for me and if nobody would notice. There we go. You can pretend that's me and you can ask the riot how much stupid questions while I'm gone. If that sits still. Right, so I'll be back in a minute. Talk amongst yourselves. Right, I'm back. Oh shit. Oh, that was lucky. It landed on the bed, it didn't fall on the floor. That wasn't too fast. It says you've got a deleted message. Don't know what it says because it's in foreign. That'd be very cool, yeah. Do that, Steve, and then do a video on it. I look forward to seeing that if you can make a full combat vest. Oh, is he not as friendly as me? Don't worry, I'll wear his severed head on my head. Right, it's close enough to the time now. Yeah, I was going to say, yeah. I thought I'd do that anyway as soon as I came back. Right. There we go, 2. Grabbing kills. It's like Left 4 Dead, isn't it? I did sort of that thing on a thing before Ashigaru, demonstrating like why submachine guns and carbines are better for that sort of thing than big old battle rifles and bolt action rifles. But then I got lots of really stupid comments on that video, people saying like, oh, why are you doing that? You look like an idiot, there's nobody in your house, or something like that. It's because I'm chronically ill, Mr. G. This is just paracetamol, which is, you know, like a very mild painkiller. But I have to take those every 4 hours to deal with constant pain. Then I take stronger pain meds if I need to. But I have ulcerative colitis and a whole sort of other things, so well, most of my friends think it's really cool, this stuff. They want to mess about with it. I mean, imagine you could put Kevlar on the inside or outside of a helmet. It wouldn't make it fully bulletproof, but you could certainly make it more resistant that way. I'm not going to get any of my extra masks out now, because I've already got enough out for this stream. Right, I'm definitely going to stream for another 30 to 60 minutes. Right, if we're all thinking of things to chat about, what we could do is the thing we did the other week, or the other days on the stream, where you say the rough area you're in, and I try and suggest camouflage patterns for your area. If that makes sense. Right, Michigan. Let me look up Michigan. What I can do, you see, is I go on Google Earth. I think somebody said Michigan the last time I did it though, so I'm probably going to say similar things, but... Right, let's go on satellite. But yeah, I think things like CADPAT and like the very green camos for Michigan, because I assume it's green most of the year around, is it? Because you're so close to Canada. Right, let's see if I can just Google Earth drop into one of the roads, because when I did that just now it put me on a photo location, which wasn't what I wanted. Right, okay, I reckon, looking at how green a lot of Michigan is, either CADPAT, which is Canadian pattern, or something like M81 Woodland, or British 95 DPM, any of those very green looking camos. Danish Flecktarn. Danish Flecktarn might be a really good one, because that's very green. Alright, let's do rural South Dakota now. So let me just go on the map. South Dakota. I might miss a load of comments while I'm doing this, so you'll have to just keep repeating it. Don't spam the chat like an idiot, but you know. Right, so let's do South Dakota. Then I'll jump down on Street View. I reckon multicam or MTP for this sort of environment. You know, the camo this is in for South Dakota, because like MTP or multicam, because it looks a lot yellower and browner, a lot of the environment. Okay, urban Kentucky. Well, any urban place is going to be like more grey kind of camos, isn't it? But if I just do Kentucky in general, Kentucky, USA. I like how the second most suggested thing, if when you type in Kentucky, is Kentucky Fried Chicken's near you. Right, I reckon either Woodlands or MTP again. So, British 95 DPM, US M81 Woodland, maybe some Flecktarn variants, or things like MTP or multicam, I reckon, for a lot of Kentucky. What question is it, Dark Shadow? Post the question again where I'm looking now, and then I can answer it. But obviously, if I'm doing other things, I can't read your comment, can you? Especially if you say, read my comment. So post your question again, Dark Shadow. I already answered that question. So yeah, if you had a different question, post it. Also Marpat for some of the places that people are suggesting. Because Marpat is the old US kind of camo. Well, they still use Marpat, don't they, for the USMC? I'd say either one of my FM12s or my M50 would be one of my most modern masks. That Scott one I showed earlier is also a pretty modern one. Let me search it. I'm sure I've looked at that cryptic camo before. I've looked at like the Mandrake one of that before. It looks like it'd be quite good, but I don't know. It probably again is very dependent on are you in the right outfit. Like there's a Brent video that's just come up in the images where he's using cryptic Highlander, and I imagine yeah in like deserty places or like quite arid places the Highlander one would be good. And I imagine the is it Mandrake is like the woodland variant. So again, it's one of those camos I think where if you're wearing it in the right environment, it would work well. But again, I don't think it would be much better than a lot of other modern camos. Flint, Michigan. Yeah, I know you had lead there in the water. Let's look on the map. You could wear a jacket full of air rifle pellets, I guess, if you're going for a swim, and then you wouldn't be seen. In the urban areas, though, I guess just urban camo, MTP or woodland again, just because if you're in areas where there's a lot of greenery around, those would work. You know, something like MTP is going to work slightly for an urban thing as well. Alright, let's look at Kentucky, or did I already do that on the map? I already did that on the map, didn't I? I said, like Marpat, M81, Woodland, British 95, DPM, maybe Flecktarns. Again, sometimes it's seasonal as well, so sometimes in the summer and winter and autumn, you might want different camo patterns. Got any cool ones then, John, if you collect knives? I've not done Finland, but Finland, the Finns have a really good camo pattern at the moment, so I'd just say the current military generation Finnish camo pattern. I'd really love some of that, but that's very expensive to buy as surplus at the moment. Yeah, exactly, Steve. With lots of these things, they might be good camos, but they don't have anything magical going on with them that makes them amazing. Out of all the camos I've seen tested on camo test videos, Soviet SS Lito sometimes works really, really well. I've got a set of that, and again, there's nothing amazing about that. It's just very good colours and pattern to it. And as I was saying, the modern Finnish camo, I think it's called Finnish MO5 camo. Yeah, if you Google Finnish MO5 camo, this is the camo I'm on about, which is a really, really good camo. Search that. That's one of the best camos I've ever seen at the moment, in terms of it being a really good pattern, and even when, you know, somebody's standing in it close to the camera, they're not obvious. Again, it's a bit like a Flecktarn kind of camo, but... And they do like summer, winter and like autumn variants of it as well. They're designed tech storm for like laser designators. Right, Australia, that might be a good one. Southeast Australia. I mean, there's Oscam, isn't there, and all the proper Australian camos, but let's... Right, so you're on about Victoria kind of area, or Canberra? That kind of area. Australian Capital Territory. Right, let's see if I can jump onto a road somewhere and use the Google Street View. Right, I reckon either Marpat, you know, that US Marine pattern, because that's dark enough in places. I reckon MTP, Oscam, Multicam. I reckon again, sorry to keep repeating myself, but camo patterns a bit like this, just because, again, they're going to work in the more arid areas and they're going to work in the woodland. So I know I keep repeating myself when I say multicams, but they generally are pretty good for environments like that. Yeah, thanks Mad Max, don't forget to like the stream, everybody. McDonald's, you have to dress as a clown. That's how you disguise yourself there. That sounds called M80. Which bayonet is that? I'll have to Google it to work out which bayonet it is, because I know all the US ones are M8. There's a World War II bayonet, was it? Is that one that went on the Garand or the carbine? It's cool looking. Or is it just where Google is giving me things I didn't search for? M8 bayonets. Oh, that's cool. One of them looks a bit like a K-bar, but with a bayonet lug on it. Yeah, it looks nice anyway. Or yeah, just in tracksuit bottoms and tracksuit top. I guess, Steve, that would also work for McDonald's. Dunno. Burger King in the UK is a similar crowd that go to it as for McDonald's. We don't have Dairy Queen in the UK. With some surplus sets, trousers and a shirt would be literally £10 to £20. With some of the rarer ones, they can be like £100 to £200. But most of the stuff I buy is like this stuff, which you can buy for like £10 surplus for the trousers. And again, £10 for a pair of trousers like these isn't bad, even though they tend to rip easily because British camo tears very easily. My favourite trousers, I always say, though, are the flex-on ones, just because these are made from a really good, robust cotton. But yeah, I really like the flex-on stuff. It's a good, robust material. They've got good pocket placement, and I really like the camo pattern. So. Yeah, don't tell people the address then, because that's the problem I've had sometimes. I talk about things on these and then people all bid on it, like outbidding each other. So yeah, keep it quiet, but yeah, hope you win it. Text on. I've got SS Leto camo, which I showed in yesterday's stream. I really like SS Leto as a camo. There's not much around near me to hunt shot. It's only like pest control things. We don't get any like big game that you can hunt most of the year round near me. I'm starting to get fairly hungry now, so I'll definitely do this stream to an hour and a half time, but I might not go for 2 hours if I'm hungry enough. Cool, I don't have an M45, but they're interesting looking masks, aren't they? Utah, let's have a look at Utah. Oh, I reckon that's going to be a bit more interesting, because some of the more deserty bits... I'm going to look at the deserty bits of Utah rather than the bits that have a bit of greenery on, just because I think the desert bits would be a bit more interesting. Right, I reckon for Utah, maybe British... British desert DPM, but I reckon the greenery might make that not look good, so I reckon arid tarn, or whatever it's called, the fleck tarn that's green and yellow. Any of the US desert camos, like the chocolate chip or whatever, I reckon they'd be good. But yeah, I reckon you'd either want desert camos or something like arid tarn. It might be called that. Let me Google that and see if that's the one I'm thinking of. Yeah, Tropentarn or Tropentarn. Yeah, that's the one. I've also heard that called arid fleck or something, or like arid tarn, but yeah, that's the exact one I mean. The brown, green and yellow one. I reckon that would look very good in that sort of Utah desert. Yeah, sadly I've never seen a C4 for sale in the UK, at least not for under £300. Look at the wall there, John. It's an L1A1 SLR variant of the FAL, but sadly it's deactivated, it won't shoot. It has to comply with UK laws. Right, that'll do me for telling people what camos to get for now, because I don't want to have to keep doing that. It's good for a little breaker in the stream, but yeah, it gets annoying having to keep missing loads of comments while I look at a certain bit on Google Maps. 82 likes on the stream so far, that's pretty good. 27 live viewers, 82 likes, very good. This is one of the best streams I've had for likes. I had one the other day, April 19th. Yeah, the one yesterday morning had 99 likes in total. What were some other ones that had a lot of likes? I can't sort by likes versus dislikes, which is annoying. But yeah, this is one of my best streams ever for likes, especially on live. My favourite gas mask's the FM12 or CT12. You can have a folding knife over 3 inches. You just can't carry it without an excuse. So something like this is legal to carry if you've got a good reason for having it. But like you were saying, is you can't randomly have this in your pocket, walk around constantly and not have a reason for it. But for example, when I'm volunteering now, I have this knife on me for volunteering, and that's perfectly legal because when I'm volunteering, I'm on private property anyway, and when I'm going to and back from where I volunteer, I've got a reason for having it because I'm travelling to or from a place where I can use this knife. Let's fold that back up. Yeah, I mean, there are the states can vary, can't they, quite a lot on individual state laws, but yeah, as I'm quite a libertarian person, I tend to agree with stuff like that. I like the idea of having more civil liberties. No, this might protect you from birdshot or something, but this is designed to protect you from blunt force trauma and like knives and things. It's a riot helmet, not a military helmet. Which type of US NBC suit do you know, Boisterous? That's pretty cool. Right, thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed the stuff, ambulance. But Canada destroys a lot of their surplus now, Textile, unfortunately, which I imagine is why. Or an M17 to go along with it, I guess. Oh, we're at 90 likes on this stream now. Wow, that's very good for a live stream. That's cool. I've not been to Romania, sadly, ambulance, but I do have a Dacia Sandero, so I have a Romanian car. Or is that like Mac v SOG or something, John? Is that a Special Forces thing? Special Operations Group? Is it something like that? Or am I thinking of completely the wrong thing? Because if it's Special Operations Group, that's like a Special Forces sort of thing, isn't it? Okay, then I don't know what the company is. Okay. Okay, it's probably M81 Woodland on a NBC suit it then, isn't it? I don't know what generation of NBC suit it is, but I'm assuming it's the one that's equivalent to the British Mark IV suits. See, what I was thinking of is this. When I typed in Special Operations Group, this came up, but that's what I was thinking of. But yeah, I haven't heard of like SOG knives or whatever. Tiger Strike was used in South Vietnam. Get a GP5 Ghostly and then don't use the filter that comes with it. I've got a replica PH gas hood, or PHG hood, but I don't have any actual one masks. That's cool, John. No, because I'm in the UK and we can't have handguns in the UK. I've already done a load of gas mask tests with air fresheners and deodorants. Most of them hold up alright. I'll do it live. It would be a pretty short video though, wouldn't it? Because I'd put the mask on, I'd spray it, and then I'd be like, yeah, it's working, but I'm not going to spray any in my room right now. I mean, what I could do is, I'm not going to put any more masks on, I could put my thing on that melts wax. It's like a wax melter. it goes on a hot plate and it melts that and it makes a nice smell. So if I melt that, you know, with the mask on, I wouldn't be able to smell it. Probably over 100 now, Gucci Gamer. You can have black powder single shot pistols, but you can't have them for self-defense or anything like that, but you can have them for target practice. Right, see you, Zergo. That's funny, 93 likes, weapons and stuff, 93. That's cool. Yeah, I reckon out of all my live streams, this one's probably had the most likes then, during an actual live stream. Like, there's ones that I've done which have got close to 100 likes, but they're ones that, you know, have been up for a couple of days, so you had all the likes initially, and then you have some people watching them afterwards. If I put 50 videos per page, there's one live stream I'm sort of interested in terms of how many views it got, and likes, because it's the one that had the most watch time. I only had 66 likes, so that's funny. It's had 1,392 views, but it's had, not that many likes. It's strange, all that stuff like that. The Scott GSR isn't the current British mask, so they're moving away from it now, TechStorm. I think they're going with another Avon mask, but I don't know what mask it is. Yeah, a year or two ago, I think it was just after the Salisbury nerve agent attack thing, and I was saying nerve agent like that, they realised the GSR might not have been fit for purpose, so they apparently paid Avon millions to replace the masks, but they haven't said what they're replacing it with, but I assume it's going to be an M50 or an FM53 or an FM12. But yeah, I don't know what the mask is. All I've heard is that Avon, you know, got a contract out of it, but that's all you could actually publicly read up on it. Have they gone to the SIG now, John? Because I know for ages they had the Beretta 92, didn't they? Even though the SIG won in the weapons trial, but they went for the Beretta because it was cheaper or something. I imagine it would take them ages to phase the M9 out though, wouldn't it, even if they decided they're not going to use it anymore because of the size of the US military and how many they produce and buy. But yeah, it's probably going to be a long period of how long it takes them from buying one thing to replace everything in stock. I'm sure with lots of these things, though, there's an element of politics to it, you know, of people getting bribes. Not that I want to, so I should say allegedly on all things like this, but, you know, I'm sure allegedly with lots of these that somebody's probably bribed who's a congressman or whatever to support a certain thing getting through and not a thing, because that's what happens with all these deals all the time all over the world. So, you know, if one company bribes somebody, I'm sure that's the one they're more likely to go with. Right, I'm going to be streaming for another 5 or so minutes and then I'm going to go off. Because I'm getting hungry now and I need to have some lunch before I go out this you know, afternoon, because what was I going to say? Because yeah, I'm not going to be on tonight. I might catch the end of Weapon Collector's stream, but I'm designated driver for taking my family out to a restaurant at the moment. But that's alright, because it means my food will be paid for, which, you know, suits me fine, to be honest. I had a drink last night, so I don't need one tonight. I'd love to see a P226 for a Browning high power, but again, not legal. Well, I had some breakfast. Yeah, I'm hoping I'll catch the end of it, Mike, but it depends if people want desserts at the restaurant or, you know, if we have to wait for a table. We've got one booked, but sometimes they say, you know, we have to wait for us to clear a table, don't you? Depends how quickly they cook the food as well. Because sometimes we'll finish our meals and everyone wants to go. Other times, you know, people say, let's have a coffee or desserts or whatever, so it's all going to be stuff like that. If it had to be a concealed carry pistol, maybe an old Makarov, but maybe one of those like small hammerless revolvers, because I know Paul Harrell, and he's a very good channel for if you're interested in firearms, said, you know, there's lots of very good hammerless revolvers that you can keep in a small pocket and aren't going to catch on anything, you know, and they give you 5 or 6 shots of fairly decent powered calibers, and they're quite compact. Well, TechStorm, I'm very loosely Christian, as you can see. I don't go to church or anything. I don't like organised religion. I think personally people should be able to believe in what they want to believe in, you know, and stuff like that. So I'm not very seriously religious because, as I said, I don't like organised religion. But yeah, I've got an Easter egg for this year. I'm going out for Easter, so I'm going to enjoy that. But like I said, I'm not very religious. I think live and let live, really, with all that sort of stuff. That sounds very interesting, Steve. I like a lot of SIG stuff just because SIG make a lot of very good high quality firearms. But yeah, I'll be going for 3 more minutes, so if you people haven't looked at it yet, if you look below, there's a Teespring link where you can buy my merchandise. If you buy any of the mugs or shirts or whatever on my merch store, I get a bit of money from that, so if you wanted a gas mask themed thing, it might be worth doing it that way. But yeah, if you haven't liked the stream yet, like the stream, because as Mike says, we're nearly at the record for most likes on the live stream at the moment. Let's refresh it and have a look. Currently I have 97 likes, 0 dislikes apparently, which is very good. So if we get that to over 100, I think that'll be the most likes ever on a live stream that I've done. They're real but deactivated, so croc. Meaning they'll never shoot again, like the barrels are welded and all that. Which means you can own them without a license in the UK, so they're good as wall hangers. Yeah, I'm definitely finishing in a couple of minutes because I'm getting properly hungry now, so I'm going to have a very light lunch before going out tonight. I'd say maybe Poland, Ashigaru. Certainly not the UK. Might offend some people saying that. I can't like my own stream because I'm watching it. You on about the Acme Clear Vision, whatever it's called? Right, I've noticed you, Lock. I know the French police have got in some serious trouble recently for how over the top they've been handling some of those protests, so that's certainly not good. That's French riot armour, or gendarmerie, or whatever they call it, riot, gendarmerie, or whatever it's called, riot armour. Ah, good. That's good, now we've safely made it over 100. Also, I wanted to say thank you to everybody, because I hit 55,000 subscribers, I think it was yesterday. Let me look at my live subscriber count. I am currently on 55,063 subscribers, so thank you to everybody that subscribed, because that's really good. It's still going to be a while for 100k when they send me a play badge thing, but yeah, it shouldn't be too far away now. Yeah, so thank you, everybody. Yeah, because a lot of the laws, Steve, here are knee-jerk laws, where, you know, something happens, the politicians say, oh, we'll make a change, and then they make very silly, poorly thought-out legislation that just affects a single thing. Depends totally, so croc, on the type of filters. The size of the filter, the type of filter, what's in them, how dirty or polluted the, you know, the room is they're being stored in. If they're new filters that, you know, aren't open, how well they're sealed, there's so many thoughts on it. Well, 3D camo is certainly better than 2D camo, as in if you add a camo pattern and then you add little bits like scrim netting or leaves that stuck out of it, it's certainly better at disguising the person wearing it because it breaks up their silhouette more. But it might not be practical in terms of it catching on stuff, you know. They still talk about the guns in the background a lot boisterous, just not as much now. I've got more decorative things in the background. L85A1, John. The A2 and A3 are alright, but the L85A1 certainly, especially as it replaced a rifle like the L1A SLR there, that, you know, L1A1 SLR that was meant to be a very, very good military rifle, and it got replaced with something where people said the best part about it is the scope, or the best part about it is the sling. That gives you some, you know, idea of how disliked the rifle was. Anyway, I've gone for an hour and 31 minutes now, so thank you everybody for watching. I will be doing a stream tomorrow, and it will be in the evening, but I'm not sure on the time yet, because I'm out in the day, but hopefully in the evening it will be a stream where we get a lot of people watching, because it's I like the classic plastic M16 personally. So I will see you all there hopefully tomorrow. Hopefully I'll catch some of Mike's stream this evening, but yeah, I'm definitely hungry now, so I'm going to go get a little bit of food. And if you haven't liked the stream yet, make sure you give it a like. Remember to check out the merch if you haven't checked out the merch, because again, that helps me out if you buy any of that. And see you all tomorrow for a stream, and there's a video at 5 PM tomorrow as it's the Sunday, so see you then. Bye.